Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are talking about canter and some challenges that you might have when trying to follow the horse's movement in the canter. So I'm going to demonstrate what we need to do to be able to follow the horse's movement in a fluid way, and also we're going to discuss what causes the problems of following the horse's movement or not being able to follow the horse's movement in the canter. I have another video about this subject where I give some tips for the canter, so I'll link it somewhere and also in the description box. But now I think I'll hop on my pony here and let's look at some things.
Now, before I hop on that pony, I thought I would put this clip where I'm actually riding a horse, and we can look at the seat in the canter in slow motion a little bit. When we look at the rider, most of the movement comes from hips and pelvis, and the upper body should appear to be quite still, but of course the hands should still be following the movement of horse's head. And we also need to keep our knees and ankles supple. Too much tension actually anywhere in the body, but especially in our knees and our thighs and our buttocks, will cause problems and also gripping, and it's going to make the horse tense. So it's really important that we have this right amount of positive tension. If I would be too relaxed, then there would be too much movement. So we need to have that right amount of movement in the right places, and also right amount of this positive tension.
So now I'm sitting on the pony. I have my feet on the floor, so I'm not really in the riding position like I would have my legs here, but it doesn't really matter. So my upper body I try to keep in the riding position, and now to be able to follow the horse's movement in the canter, we need to be able to move from our hips, and also we have some movement in our back, but we don't want it to be like this uncontrolled movement like this. We want to control our upper body, and then to be able to follow the horse's movement from our pelvis and from our hip joints. So it's kind of like this circular motion. If you have this kind of big ball, it's actually really good to practice this movement on this ball. So you think that you're kind of also pushing your knees a little bit down when you're opening the hip joints. And we need to have our knees and our ankle joints also soft, because if I make, for example, my knee joints stiff, like this would be if we would be like squeezing the saddle with our knees. I'll show you what happens. Now I'm squeezing my knees together, and now you can see what happens. I really cannot move from my hips. And now I'll just find that movement again. And now you can see next I'm going to lock my hip joints and just see what happens now. And now you can again see this movement that comes from my upper body. This is actually really common also that you see in riders when they cannot move from the hips and from the pelvis, then it shows up in the upper body like this. Okay, now I'll try and find that circular movement again. Keeping my hands in riding position. And now let's look at what happens if I just look down. And now you can see it's really, again, a little bit difficult for me to find that movement from my hips and my pelvis. So the position of our head and our upper body also, it's important. Now I'm going to stop breathing and let's see what happens now. I immediately feel more stiff and not that fluid from my pelvis when I did that and I stopped breathing. So it's going to help you a lot if you just remember to actually breathe when you're cantering and just look forward. So the thing is that we really don't want to be too relaxed like this, so there's just too much movement, but we don't want to be too tense either. So if I'm just, now I'll find the movement from my hips again, and now if I'll just tense my shoulders and kind of contract my abdominals and my other muscles a little bit too much, then I'm going to start bouncing. And that's going to make it really difficult to follow the horse's movement. So we need right amount of relaxation, but also that right amount of stability in our body. If you don't have this big ball, you can also try this when standing. I know you cannot see my head now, but you can go into this position and do this movement here, like this. And you can even do the same kind of tests that I did on the ball. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe. Bye!